How's it brawling, guys? Dr. Nemesis here, coming at you today in an entirely new video, something completely different, in celebration of Android now being available in addition to a couple of other countries, which is really good. The game is now in the Asian market, so I think once all of this just goes over, we're looking at global, baby. I'm so excited for it. So I want to have a couple of these videos up and ready to go. So today we're doing how to play Gem Grab. Now this is an overview of Gem Grab in general for just the entire game mode itself. Now this strategy, not just strategy, this formula works for every single map. It works for every single Gem Grab map, and it is very successful. I can tell you from my 1 full year of experience that it works. This formula works, and if you can find a good 3-people team to occupy each position successfully, your Gem Grab games will be on point. You will always win. You'll always have a really good handle on everything, and that's pretty much all I can tell you. Now, this doesn't come from being in the top 200 of gameplay. This doesn't come from being a pro player or anything like that, because let's face it, not all of us are ever going to reach that level. This is more of a casual, like somebody who just started playing, and they just want a couple of everyman tips, just a couple of just basic stuff on progression and getting better at this specific game mode. So I will be doing one for every game mode. I'm thinking one per week until I've covered all the game modes, but and then of course once new brawlers come in, I'll maybe just let you guys know where they fall in what positioning, or just maybe redo the entire video based on how I feel about this this particular type of video. So let's get right into it. So Gem Grab, the very first game mode that you play inside of Brawl Stars. It's the game mode that kind of helps you determine whether you want to keep playing or not. Personally, and this is on a personal level, I'm not the biggest fan of Gem Grab. I do have fun with it, but it's not the absolute best. So for any new players who start the game and they immediately just they don't really like Gem Grab, just don't give up on it. Once you unlock Showdown, once you unlock Heist, and once you unlock Bounty and the special events, and Brawl Ball, then things get a lot better. That's just the first tip that I want to give anybody who is not enjoying Gem Grab right off the bat. Also, don't worry about Shelly. Shelly's the first player that everybody gets, or the first brawler, I should say. So don't freak out about that. Just keep in mind there's plenty of other brawlers, and if you're not good with Shelly, you'll probably be good with somebody else. So yeah. Now, when you're playing a Gem Grab game, you want to fall into one of 3 positions. You want to be either a gem carrier, a field controller, or a hunter. Now, I've divided, these are the 3 positions for a team. You can be successful without filling these positions, but this is your standard team that you can be super successful with. Believe me, if you stick to the formula, you will knock it out of the park. So as far as hunters are, their job is to not protect the gem carrier. Their job is to be aggressive. Their job is to attack, keep the pressure on, they're gonna die, they're gonna keep dying, but as long as they keep taking out the opposing team, then they are golden. Now, a lot of times what happens is the hunters, if the opposing team picks up enough gems, the hunter will fall into kind of a weird position where they'll kill whoever has the gems and pick up all those gems because the carrier is nowhere in sight. So at that point, the hunter then, your job as the hunter is to return to your side. Stay aggressive, make sure you're constantly moving back, but not just allowing yourself to be killed. So you fall all the way back to the beginning, or where you're to your team's side of the map. So if you do die, your gem carrier is close by and they can swoop up whatever gems you had and continue the game. Then you can come back and respawn and just keep doing your job as the hunter. So on the hunter list, these are the brawlers that are hunters. They are not, you can use them as gem carriers or even field controllers, but their primary function is to be a hunter and be aggressive and constantly attack the other team. So your hunters are Shelly, Bull, El Primo, Daryl, and Frank. Now, these are the primary hunters. These are the ones that are your first choices. These are the ones that this is their main job as hunters. Now, there are a few other brawlers that can work as hunters, though they are not as effective. They can't really apply the pressure that these brawlers can. So those, we're going to go ahead and call those alternate hunters. The alternate hunters are Colt, Bo, and Ricochet, and Spike. So these are the alternate hunters. These are the ones that can apply pressure, but they're a little bit squishier compared to the ones that are actual hunters. And they can put up or shut up, and they can take the damage and just get into the enemy side and take out whoever they need to take out. So that is the job of the hunter. Next up, you have your field controllers. So the job of the field controller is to control the field. Your job is to deny the opposing team from coming into the middle and picking up gems. Your job is to deny them from even getting close to your gem carrier, and supporting your hunter. So if your hunter does damage to a brawler and they find themselves in a weird position where the other brawler is running away from your hunter, your job is then to be that support and help take them out while your hunter heals up and continues doing its job. Another thing that could happen is, as a field controller, if you're not doing your job in controlling the field and you allow your gem carrier to die, it is now your job to pick up those gems and continue the fight. You have to carry those gems until your gem carrier comes back, and hopefully you don't have all 10 of them, so that your gem carrier can continue and the strategy can progress. A lot of the gem carriers are not very good at field control, so you always want to keep your position and maintain your job within the game. Now, field controllers. Field controllers are Nita, Colt, Brock, Dynamite, Barley, Ricochet, Penny, Piper, Tara, Spike, and Crow. So these are the brawlers that are controllers. They control the field. They can very much control the pace of a game. Each brawler is different in the way that they control the field. For example, Nita, she has a very direct range. She's able to corner enemies and just kind of plow into them, denying them from going one way or another. Barley and Dynamike are able to completely block off sections of the map just from their constant attack. They don't even have to do any damage. They can just control the area by throwing their explosives and making it very difficult to get past. Other characters like Piper, Colt, and Ricochet, they control from a distance. They stay far away, and they kind of just blast anything that's coming within range. So that's kind of their job. Other field controllers like Penny or Tara or Crow or Spike, their job is to kind of just run around and just kind of hustle. You have to control the area from one side, then be able to move to the other area and control it from that side, and just you're teeter-tottering, you're constantly running around, so that is their job. Now, same thing as we did with the hunters, there are alternate controllers, field controllers. The alternate ones being Jesse, Poco, and Bo. These three are alternative field controllers, although they don't do that good of a job. Poco, he has a very big area denial with his attack. However, he's not really able to keep that pressure up because of his insanely low health. He's not very good in that sense. Bo runs into a different situation. Bo is actually a very well-balanced gem grab brawler because he's able to, he can be a hunter in the sense of he can kind of do a pretty good amount of damage and set up his traps. With his super, he can set up his traps to deny other brawlers entrance to certain areas of the map. So Bo is actually a very well-balanced brawler for gem grab. He can fall, funny enough, he can fall into all three categories. Bo can play every single position to an extent. As a field controller, he does okay. He does pretty good. As a hunter, he can do it. You're just going to have to hustle a little bit more than some of the other brawlers. But where he really shines is in the next category. So those are the field controllers. And then the most, I would say the most crucial role of any gem grab game is the gem carrier. You want to be a brawler who can get in, grab the gems, take care of business, and just stay alive. These brawlers are Jesse, Bo, Poco, Pam, and Mortis. So these brawlers do the best job as gem carriers. They are the absolute best. Now, your job as a gem carrier is simply to pick up the gems. You want to defend yourself. You want to help the area controller in controlling the area and making sure that nobody's coming in and snatching up your gems. But overall, your job, your primary function is to pick up the 10 gems and assure victory. If you can have a good team composition, or a good team comp that would everybody comes together and is able to take down each position and hold it, you're going to be absolutely successful in every single gem grab that you do.